Welcome to the Spring 2022 season of the High School League presented by the Esport Company. Overwatch Division 1, Week 1, we had a couple of matchups. Somerset at Greater Johnstown. Windber took on Forest Hills, and Berlin Brothers Valley versus Moshannon Valley. Let's take a look at the top 5 plays for Overwatch Division 1, Week 1, starting at number 5. It's going to be Yi Bo of Somerset with a TAC visor, with the Mercy locked in, helping him out with the damage. Love to see it. Moving on to number 4, it's Kaide, normally on support, but here he is on Rhine with the sneaky Shatter Dragon combo. Love to see that. Number 3, it's going to be Trojan 1 of Greater Johnstown with the Riptire. It's going to take out 4 on the point in overtime. Love that clutch play. And moving on to number 2, it's MJ plays with another clutch play by Somerset. He's going to sit right on top of the payload, do a Diva Bomb, takes out 4, clearing the payload. Great play. And number 1, it's going to be Flip Stingray. Check him out in third person, getting that information around the corner as I believe it was Kaide put up that BAP window for the extra damage for the Fire Strike. Beautiful combination there. Final scores are Somerset 2-0, Forest Hills 2-0. And here are your standings. It is early. We got week 2 coming up next. Stay tuned. Nizzy's out. Welcome back to another High School League, and we are in the Spring 2022 season for the Esport Company's High School League. Let's take a look at Overwatch Division 2 Week 1. We had Somerset taking on Hollidaysburg and Forest Hills versus Windber. Now let's take a look at our top 5 plays for week number 1. Starting off at number 5, it's going to be Father Digior. I'm going to say Somerset with the flank tire. Love to see it. Boom from the top ropes. Gets a double kill. Takes out the soldier. Finishes off that Zarya for our number 5 play. Moving on to number 4. It's going to be HASD Esports 6 with a Shatter. Looks like the other Rhine mistimed their shield and was able to get that Shatter off for the number 4 play. The rest of the team is cleaned up with a team effort. Here we go. Look at number 3 for Hollidaysburg as well. It's HASD Esports 1 with the TAC visor. Zarya Grav combo. Rather, going into that room, just finishing up everyone else. And here we go at number 2. A lot of TAC visors, and here's another one. Same player from Hollidaysburg. Trap, doesn't matter. Shoots right through the window that was so perfectly placed by the team BAP. And is able to visor through that window for maximum damage. Take a look at number 1. It's Somerset Father Digior with another flank tire play from the top ropes. He's going to get a 4-piece followed by a 5th onto that BAP. Hollidaysburg takes out Somerset 2-0. And here are the early standings for week 1. Hope to see you guys in week 2. Nizzy's out.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Esports Company High School League Overwatch Division 1 Spring 2022 season. I am Joker's Ransom alongside of Lord Ethan, bringing you today's broadcast. It should be a really fun one here.
Yeah, I'm really excited to watch week 2 of TEC High School League unfold. Our starting match is going to include Windber, who we got to see last week. A little bit of a slow start to the season, but definitely looking to bring it back. Down 0-1, but hey, that was the first week. You can afford to drop that first series, come back into the next one stronger. And a good opponent that they've got today to really test themselves. We'll be watching Bishop Carroll here for the first time in the booth. I'm pretty excited, Joker, and it sounds like you're pretty pumped up to watch these high school teams play as well.
Yeah, I definitely am. And like you said, we're starting out with Bishop Carroll versus Windber. We've got a lot of other matches tonight as well. We've got Forest Hills versus Greater Johnstown after this. And unfortunately, Moshannon Valley had a early dismissal because of inclement weather. So we're going to be going to Division 2 right after that. We're going to see Forest Hills versus Hollidaysburg to round off today's stream.
Yeah, and before we jump right into the action here for Overwatch, of course, big shout out to all of our players for participating. Let's show them a little love. Take a look at these rosters here. Starting for Bishop Carroll, it's all just kind of looks like Bishop Carroll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But you are going to see Tommy B and Blaze on the tank lineup for playing the DPS heroes, all those characters who do all the damage. You'll see Tommy U and Kenzie, and lining up the support is going to be Josh and Olivia. So keeping a keen eye on all of these players to make sure the team as a whole functions really well.
Yeah, and then on the side of Windber, we're going to see them again. Yeah, we have Gage and Andrew on the tank. They are number 2 and 4 with their team's tags. Angelo and Ben on 3 and 6, and then Owen and Veronica in 5 and 1.
You gotta love it as a caster here, Joker. Just saying WASD Sports 1 through 6 there. Let's take a look at our map pool here before jumping into our first map. We will be going to the control point map Oasis to start off with. After that, heading to the escort style game mode Gibraltar, and then Hanamura immediately afterwards. Well, I guess rather after a short break between maps 2 and 3. But we'll have to see if the series gets that far. This is a first to 2 best of 3 series here, Joker. So the stakes are a little bit higher compared to a best of 5.
Yeah, definitely. You can't have many more mistakes than like you could in a best of 5. It's a best of 3, so you only have really one map to give up to the other team. If you don't, I mean, you lost the series, and you can't be really doing that in the starting stage, as you want to be able to have good standing going into later on in the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And as well, momentum ends up playing a little bit of a factor into these series as well. If you drop that first map, if morale sinks too low, it can be difficult to come back in it. But hoping to see the energy start out high for both these teams, running out on more brawly style compositions. It's exactly the kind of look that you'd want to see. They're starting on Oasis University. Name of the game, capture 100% progress on this centralized objective. Let's see how it works.
Really interesting to see the start off before this fight goes underway. Bishop Carroll opting to run a Mercy Lucio style composition, not as many healing as you'd see on the side of Windber, which is opting for Baptiste, which is just that dominant support in the game right now. They're going to start things off as number 6 does take out it takes out the capacity to start things off, but it's going to be traded out, and Bishop Carroll is going to get this first capture percentage. As there goes Tommy B starting things off, getting 2 picks on this Reinhardt to get the things done and dusted for the first fight.
All right, Tommy B and Blaze setting waves of impact there on the front line. You can see Tommy B's already coming up on that Earthshatter as well on that Reinhardt there. It's the first little blue check mark you've seen light up. It might end the fight that Windber tries to take next before that fight really even begins. But with 2 shields, 2 barriers here for Windber to play behind, there is plenty of counterplay left. We'll have to see what their engagement looks like once they commit to an angle here.
Yeah, they haven't really committed yet. But they do seem to be cutting out, and they're going to now commit to that left side. look for some things to come through. The Genji looking for some damage from the top ropes, but nothing coming through. The Shatter does connect. A massive Shatter coming in from the side of Bishop Carroll, but no follow-up really damage yet. They didn't get any picks as they're going to continue to go forward. The tag visor coming out, as well as the sound barrier from Bishop Carroll. They still have enough to take this fight yet again as they're building up to 65%.
Definitely, Carroll won on the Lucio. Josh, it didn't want to see a pushback from Windber after not seeing follow-up off of the Earth Shatter that Tommy B had employed. So you drop the sound barrier, you buy yourself an extra ticket for sustenance there past the choke in towards the territory that Windber controls, and you maintain control of the objective at all times as well. Still sitting on coming up on another Earth Shatter here for Bishop Carroll, but Windber still has plenty of tools of the trade. They have to use them in order to win this next fight. For sure.
Definitely. And speaking of which, before this fight goes away, Tommy has another Shatter online and he follows it up, finds 3 on the board, and they're going to win this fight off the back of it. Yeah, again, a massive play coming in from Tommy B on the Reiner, and it's just the Sigma left on point. They're going to clean them up with the Death Blossom as Bishop Carroll looking very strong to start things off here, Ethan.
Definitely. And, you know, you mentioned at first here, Joker, that, you know, Carroll 1, Carroll 3, that's Josh and Olivia playing that more Mercy Lucio style composition. You take that to solo queue ranked, Joker, and you're going to have some troubled tank players insisting that you run a different support lineup. But I'll tell you what I really like about the TEC High School League is that you see these players opting for comfort picks. It's not about adhering to the meta game. It's not about, you know, saying who's the most broken heroes that we can use to win. It's what heroes are we best at that can suit the play styles of our teammates. Overwatch, at the end of the day, it's a team-based game. And so to see Bishop Carroll and as well Josh and Olivia really coming through on that support lineup, unconventional as it may be, Joker, that's refreshing to me as a washed-up support main myself.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you there, and it worked out in the end for them. They didn't really lose any players, and especially with Windber playing the obviously superior support player at the moment, the support hero at the moment, they were still getting much more value. I think that helped out with the Mercy, the damage boost as well, being able to impact a lot more of the game. They didn't really have that besides the amplification matrix on the side of Windber, and that's just an ultimate, and you don't get it all the time when you're running a Mercy.
Yeah, that's a good point. As well for Windber, you know, I think that you know, they're going to struggle just a little bit without the Lucio in that more brawly style composition. Josh and Tommy B here on the Lucio Reinhardt duo, I mean, you're able to pretty easily control the pace of the game. We're going to have a pause come up here, working to resolve some technical issues at the other side of a break. We'll see if Windber can amp up the pace just a little bit, stay competitive in this series right off the back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Oh, hello everyone. Welcome back. We got everyone back into the lobby, and we're heading into the second round of Oasis now, Ethan.
I'm pretty excited to see the second sub-map of Oasis play out here on City Center. You got Windber opting for this double barrier composition with WASD Esports 3, Angelo on the Genji. No nano to tether onto the Genji blade ultimate ability, but there's still a lot of damage to pack behind the barriers of Windber.
Yeah, and then to start things off, coming up soon here, looking just to poke in this damage again, and Genji, not really known as a poke hero, but that's what they're playing him kind of as today. But they're going to start things off as Carroll 2 going down to start things off, but to be traded back. They've taken out the Baptiste, and now all the side of Bishop Carroll now into the kill feed, cleaning up the rest of Windber as they start things off yet again into the favor of Bishop Carroll.
It's a clash of styles right there, Joker. It's a little bit more slower paced, methodical kind of poke style engagement that Windber was wanting to go for, buy enough time on the front lines between Andrew and Gage to buy space for Angelo, who unfortunately goes down. It's going to be quickly followed by Veronica, versus Bishop Carroll, who's running this heavy engagement style composition. You want to run into those double barriers and free swing the hammer if you're Tommy B. That's exactly what we got to see unfold. They're rewarded with another shatter for it, and they can swing these fights with that ultimate. We've seen them do it a couple of times now.
Yeah, and they've already caught out the bend there on the flank on the Soldier 76. They're going to start things off looking for this pick on to the Orisa. Nothing gonna do here, but the shatter does come out, does not connect to anyone. However, is the Ant Matrix now on board, as that is just gonna be all the damage they need to start things off. As Carroll 5 taking out the Orisa. They've still got a couple of people left, but it's gonna be the Reaper finding out the Mercy as well, as a big swings coming through as Bishop Carroll takes the fight yet again.
You like to see it and you hate to see it. Veronica whipping out the Glock to see about doing a little bit of damage onto Tommy U on the Reaper. Slowly coming up on that Death Blossom, trying to shut them down on that off angle, ultimately unable to do so. Coming up into last fight territory here as well. Bishop Carroll armed with a couple of ults of their own. With a sound barrier, they'll be able to stay in this fight against the Blade from Angela, from Windber.
That's a big hook coming through from the Roadhog. Nothing doing with this Blade is because that immortality field just counted it out. They do have another pick coming through for the Roadhog switch of Windber at the moment, and they look like they're going to be able to hold on to this and get the capture percentage into their favor for the first time.
Yeah, force Tommy B back a little bit. Don't let them play the game for free. It's going to be very difficult to play the game here for Bishop Carroll if you got Gage here with a Gravitic Flux on the Sigma, able to make something really happen. Engaging with this ultimate is certainly the play. Draw out that barrier from Josh on the Lucio for Bishop Carroll.
Engaging with the Gravitic Flux, but they're gonna start off here now. There comes the Flux after the sound mirror has been popped. That's gonna be a huge play coming through. So much damage from that Flux coming out as they're gonna start things off. The Genji taking out the Baptiste of Bishop Carroll as the Death Blossom now coming through, finding
Awesome.
Oh my goodness, the pick coming through from Tommy U on the Reaper. The self-destruct is there as well to get back in as they're gonna clean it up with a 5-piece for the Reaper.
Oh, that is Tommy U coming through here for Bishop Carroll, helping to round out that last team fight on the last round of Oasis here on City Center. You know, here in the TEC high school leagues and high school in general, we all have teachable moments, but that right there from Tommy U, that was a sheeshable moment coming through with that Death Blossom. It's still ultimately Tommy B with the shatters getting play of the game, and we love to see some main tank recognition here. Great gameplay from the front lines of Bishop Carroll. But Joker, Windber has to come back from this in some way. You and I have mentioned it's a first two best of three series. You know, what's maybe one thing that we got to see from them?
I don't know. I feel like they take a little bit too long, obviously, to start these fights off, especially since we're seeing Bishop Carroll run this super aggressive brawl composition, and when you're running double shield or any form of double shield, it's obviously a more defensive comp, and going forward, I think they have to match them on the brawl to really have any chance going into the next map.
We'll have to see. Definitely, you know, you'll find that the higher up on ladder you go, typically the quicker pace to these matches become. You know, a little bit less time spent resetting and staging for these engagements might help Windber. Definitely, Lucio helps a little bit of that with the speed boost that he can provide to the team, the speed aura. But you know, you don't need a Lucio to move quickly. Hopefully, we can see Somerset move just a little bit faster. Heading into our next map, it's going to be Watch Point Gibraltar. So much high ground, verticality to work with. It fosters the strengths of a more heavy engagement, dive-oriented composition. But Joker, something tells me that it's still going to be brawl, even here on Watch Point Gibraltar. You know, I won't complain about that, but I'd love to see dive from either one of these two teams.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. I love some brawl. As a main tank player myself, I love to play Winston. I might not be that good at it, but I love to play Winston. It's just so fun, so much fun making the space And I think it'd just be good to see if they have this in their back pocket. But like you said, that from what we've seen so far, they like to stick on what they are comfortable with, and what they're comfortable with is brawl and double shield. So I mean, double shield definitely can work on the defense of Watchpoint Gibraltar, but I mean, the dive's just overall better. But I mean, hey, it's all in the favor of what you're more comfortable on.
You strike a big chord with me right there. You know, it's about playing the game. You know, again, not being forced onto the busted heroes, the broken, overpowered ones like Echo or Baptiste. It's about, I like playing this hero. Their abilities suit my kind of play style. That's what I want to do. You know, kind of we get into ranked and someone's like, hey, swap, and you just have to be like, you're not my dad, you can't tell me what to do. That's the kind of energy that I'm getting from either one of these teams. They just want to play what they want to play, and I'm enjoying the show so far. But like you said, Joker, we'll probably see brawl here. Starting on the defense is going to be Bishop Carroll.
Yeah, and we'll see what we obviously are going to see when this clock runs down. And right now we're seeing Bishop Carroll opting for a really bog standard double shield composition. Like I was saying, it's a very good composition for the defense, especially on point one.
You are going to have a substitution in Bishop Carroll as well. It's going to be Blaze coming in on the main tank Carroll 6 right there. So Blaze is going to be playing the Sigma, and I believe that means Tommy B ends up on Carroll number 4 on Orisa here. So maybe a couple of swaps here. I'll just have to call them by their numbers now. Windber is running something a little bit more, actually rather less conventional here. With a Roadhog, you'll be able to break through some of those barriers and maybe get that pickoff potential that Roadhog has. But you know, WASD Esports 4, Andrew, definitely has the work cut out for them here. So they look to take the high ground, open up the fight. Ooh, almost.
Yeah, they almost take out. Josh there on the Zenyatta. Looking for those picks from that Roadhog, like you said. If they can get a hold of them, it's most likely going to be a pick coming in from that Roadhog, as nothing's really doing. They're just giving them up this space for the time being here, Thiefin.
Yeah, and you know, you don't typically want to do that, and we might see Blaze learn that the hard way, able to proc out the kinetic grass to get a little bit extra HP, but you see the health pool for Bishop Carroll's dwindling.
Yeah, but it's not gonna matter. They've already got 3 picks, but they're still trying to turn this back as Windber, as Andrew's still alive on this Roadhog, taking out the Cassidy of Bishop Carroll. But they're just gonna hold on for the time being, wait for these respawns to come back as Bishop Carroll try to hold on to this defense.
Now, Ben for Windber is coming up on the Dragon Strike on Hanzo. They're discorded and under quite a bit of pressure here, but if they can live long enough, you can use that ultimate to zone out the objective, buy a little bit of space for the rest of the team.
Yeah, and they're just caught in this between a rock and a hard place right now. Is Andrew and Ben there on for the side of Windber, as they're just waiting to get everyone back, but now they're out. But Carroll getting that pick, Tommy Yu taking out the flex support, the Ana out from Windber is going to be huge. Now they're going to swap over the Ana because of it, as the side of Bishop Carroll look to continue holding strong. But here comes the Dragon Strike out as well. Gonna find another pick on to Windber as the Transcendence being popped, as Bishop Carroll look to finish and clean up this fight.
All right, Carroll 2, Tommy Yu, make it happen there. Not only on the Reaper of the Blossom last map, but also now with the Dragon Strike. You know, I mentioned this for WASD Esports 6 there. Ben with the Dragon Strike and zoning out that objective. That's exactly what we got to see Tommy Yu do. Absolutely beautiful stuff in it. Rewards Bishop Carroll with a longer hold, and as well, they're coming to this next fight with the Flux and the Supercharger from their tanks. Those are powerful ultimates.
Yeah, as it's gonna be very difficult for them to push into this. The grid of Flux coming out from Blaze on the Sigma, gonna find out the Genji, and that should be enough for them to win this fight out yet again. As Andrew trying to get away, not gonna fall, as the side of Bishop Carroll continue to hold strong. There's a minute and 10 seconds left.
That's not a lot of time, but it might just be enough. You're going to see a swap come out here. Ben off of the Hanzo and onto the Soldier 76, looking for just more consistent damage against these barriers, as well as possibly an off angle. But they don't have an ult to speak of. All of that is going to be in the power of 4, 2, and 3 here for Windber. Hopefully we can make something happen with the Nano, with the Dragon Blade, since Carroll 1 doesn't have that Transcendence.
They're gonna look to start things off here with the whole hog coming in from.
That's so much damage!
Deleted coming in, and Matrix and the Discord Orb is just gonna annihilate the rest of Windber there as Carroll 4 just pumping in sheer amounts of damage.
Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to what we refer to as the main tank experience. The moment you drop that barrier, the moment you commit to an engagement, you just get melted here. But something has to happen here for Windber. They gotta get a touch or a stay or something.
Well, the Dragon Strike is going to come out, but they're going to be caught out. The two teams coming through from Windber might be able to do this. The Tracer looking to get a pick onto the Zen, and they are going to get the Zen as well. The Shadow coming out as well. Windber have done it. They've won this fight. There is going to be ability for Bishop Carroll to recontest, but it's not going to be a good one.
It's a tenuous position Windber is in. They have to stay on the objective, but they are going to get that first point capture. Absolutely beautiful stuff for from 3 and 6. That's Angelo and Ben helping to bring it back. Ben's coming up on that tactical visor. They didn't have it to start off with, but it's a good thing that they swapped to the Soldier 76. They're going to have it here coming into this next fight. Watch out, though. You want to use that ult on the high ground, and that's currently occupied by Kenzie on Bishop Carroll.
Yeah, as they're going to look for these Bart picks off coming up as Carroll 5 going to go super low here. Not going to be taken out by the Helix rocket, but the roll through coming in from the Wrecking Ball of a Windber is going to be there. It's going to be traded out immediately by the Sigma of Bishop Carroll. But there's nothing really doing yet, as it's still even, but it's going to be still in favor of this attacking team because it's kind of still in the favor. It's a nice kick coming through. Oh my goodness, as WASD Esports number 3 getting the stick on to Carroll 1. Josh going down, but still nothing's really doing. They haven't gotten this defensive positioning away from Bishop Carroll. They still think they can win this. They've gotten this Gravitic Flux in as well, trying to take out the Mercy. Carroll 4 taking out the Tracer is going to be huge, but it's still anyone's game. But it's going to be Windber opening things up now into their favor.
There's the main. There's a little bit of the main tank experience there. Space created. That's the call from Windber. Beautiful use of the minefield from Andrew there on the Wrecking Ball. But again, that Supercharger and Matrix combo, devastating damage, and Windber's gonna feel it.
Yeah, again, so much damage coming out from this Bishop Carroll squad when they pop all those defensive ultimates and those damage amplifying ultimates, as they're going to continue to come back and get the cart back into their favor and start to look for the hole, because there's only 30 seconds left now.
You know, Joker, that's an important stabilization, though, here for Windber. For Bishop Carroll. If they can hold this objective, the game becomes more and more winnable the longer you hold it. Now, Windber has a couple of ultimates, a bunch of ultimates, rather, to bring themselves back in this fight. Got to see them employed correctly here. And as well, you have to dodge out the Dragons and the Deadeye coming out from the DPS for Bishop Carroll.
And they're going to start things off. The Sound Bear and a Big Shatter does connect to 2 people on the side of Bishop Carroll, and that's going to open things up. The attack visor as well finds 2 of their cells as Windber again at the 11th hour continue to get these big fight wins, as they do not want to give this up yet. But, I mean, oh my goodness, they're staying alive for as long as they can. Dragon Strike from Spawn is there as well. They might be able to get a recontest. The minefield is out coming through, as they do get a touch on it, as the Hanzo taking out the Tracer is going to be huge. No more flank damage coming out. The Transcendence there as well. Oh my goodness, Bishop Carroll came back. They've got 2, but it's going to be traded out immediately for the side of Windber.
So many
not
flashbacks.
looking good. Who is going to win this fight? They need another pick, and it comes from the Cassidy of Bishop Carroll. They might have done this in a flick.
Beautiful shot.
Oh. No, Bishop Carroll have won this fight. Stop them at the doorsteps.
That was a really nice contest of the objective from Bishop Carroll. Although I'll tell you, Windber really brought it on their attack. I almost had to check myself. I accidentally almost called them Wind Brain, because let me tell you, it was a pretty wildly brilliant to drop the sound barrier. Owen used the Lucio ultimate to allow, I think it was Ben on the Soldier 76 to use the tactical visor on an off angle that I play a lot of Soldier 76. If I tried to use that attack visor right then and there without a sound barrier, I would have died. But Owen manages to buy Ben just a little bit of space, a little bit of damage mitigation, and it rewards Windber with a pick onto Kenzie, who's playing the Cole Cassidy for Bishop Carroll, and they had the Deadeye. That really helped them to get a little momentum into that fight, push the cart just a little bit further. For the cart to stop there, it's not too bad for Windber here, Joker. I think this is a very winnable game for them.
Yeah, definitely. And now we're seeing some normal stuff coming out from Windber. Obviously, you'd have thought maybe the double shield coming out from them on the defense, but it does not look that way. They're going to be holding it close to the cart.
The close hold on watch point Jibby. Okay. Let's see how it goes. You'd see this on a map like Havana or maybe Route 66, but not on Watchpoint Gibraltar. We'll see how much damage Gage bodies here on the Diva. They go unscathed. Oh, okay, no, they're gonna lose the mech invariably.
No, now there goes the mech finally, as now they're gonna push forward. The pin from Narnia is gonna find the baby Diva, but that's gonna trade it out. They no longer have both Reinhardts on the field, but that's just gonna be in the favor of Bishop Carroll, with this respawn being so in their favor at the moment, as there comes the Pharah taking out the Mercy in the sky, as this should be enough for Bishop Carroll to open things up and continue to push this cart.
Bishop Carroll has bought themselves a little bit of space, but the Windber Ramblers, they still have a chance to come back in this. You're going to see a swap come out from Ben. Is back on the leg 76, as we call him, so that you've got a little bit more pressure onto Kenzie, who's playing the Pharah in the sky. With enough damage dealt, they'll use the barrage to swing this next fight for Bishop.
Oh, and they've got the D-Mech already on to Gage there. That is going to be huge. They do get a pick, turn it back, but oh my goodness, there's this aggro Ryan coming in from Bishop Carroll, getting another pin out onto the Soldier 76, but oh my goodness, they haven't dealt with the Reaper, as Windber might be able to turn this fight just off the back of the Reaper. The res is there as well, getting Andrew back in this fight, as the side of Windber have not lost this cart.
That was really good patience from Angelo, striking at the right time, cleaving through the back line of Bishop Carroll when they least suspected it, and then as well, not shooting the barriers that that Blaze was using there on the Zarya, which would increase her energy and in turn, proportionally, her lethality as well. Helps Windber stay in this, and they're coming into this fight with a slew of ultimates. Only about 4, we'll see, but I'm hoping to not see them all stacked all at once. Open the fight here with Veronica's Valkyrie, use the Shatter, and then take it from there. Bishop Carroll, they've got a lot of ults themselves.
Yeah, they definitely do. They're looking to start things off, I think, where the Shattered comes out from the side of Windber, but no real follow-up is there until the Death Blossom comes unleashed from the side of Windber, but nothing doing with that either. As the self-destruct coming in from over the top, looking for something, they do take out the Zarya of Bishop Carroll, as the Pharah is still alive, not being really dealt with, as they don't really have anything to do with it besides the Cassidy that was in spawn, but Windber continue to hold on to this point.
That's honestly, it's not a bad fight. You saw pretty much all the ults for Windber come out, all of the most powerful abilities utilized in that fight, but now there's only a minute remaining here for Bishop Carroll. They have the tank ultimates online, and again, tank ults are exceedingly powerful, but Windber has bought themselves a little bit more time to stabilize here on this first point defense. That's exactly what they need, coming into potential, kind of near last fight.
I'm going to be looking for this
What is that pin?
That's what I'm looking for right there. Dragon Strike into the Graviton Surge, but it didn't really matter because it was all the Carroll 5 getting every pick they needed to, as the team kill gong sounds as Bishop Carroll unlock point number 2.
You know, I've said since last week here in the booth for TEC High School League, I love watching this league. It's just so different from the games that I normally watch, cast, the games that I normally play. Yeah. It's a reminder to me of you know, kind of how I wish I could play these heroes. And that's I think it's Tommy B on the Reinhardt there for Carroll. Show me how I want to play Reinhardt.
Yeah, so they're going to trade things out. The Pharah is going down. They're going to get the trade, I believe. There's a nice shot coming in onto the Baby Diva from Tommy U. They're going to continue to push forward, but they are down a couple of people to begin with.
You know, Joker, you still got the barrage coming up from Kenzie, from Carroll. That could win this next fight.
Definitely could. The barrage is going to start things off. Not the best angle you might have wanted, but it's going to chunk down the Reinhardt. Here comes like High Noon. They're not going to know where he is. Takes down Carroll 5, but it's right next to the payload. The Death Blossom coming out. They're going to be focused down by a pin yet again. Tommy B just going full on bumper mode right now as the side of Bishop Carroll are going to be able to take it to the end after they take out the Baptiste as Bishop Carroll take this series in a 2-0 fashion.
That was a really nice display from them. And one name that we haven't gotten to mention as much from Bishop Carroll is Olivia, who is playing the Moira hero there in that attack. Not my personal favorite, I'm not gonna lie. Objectively, the second worst hero in the game. But, you know, again, if that's what you want to play, you go for it. And that coalescence there at the end of the fight, the Moira ult, was remarkable. It procced out, it kind of baited out, if you will, the Death Blossom from the Windber Ramblers, and then as well a beautiful particle barrier projected from Blaze on Carroll 6. Helped them to stay in that fight, keep up that pressure. And you know, the sustain that you're going to get from a Moira in the backline is just insane. Bishop Carroll definitely popped off this series, but I gotta say, definitely plenty of resistance that Windber Ramblers put up against them. For me, it honestly, from week one, I've already seen big improvements from the squad. I can't wait to see how Windber continues to grow.
And that's the biggest thing, especially for a high school league. It's learning how to play the game. You're getting better, and that's a perfect thing right there. We saw Windber didn't look that good last week. Now they're coming in looking a lot better, like you said. And maybe next week they get their first win. They keep learning and learning how to play this game correctly. We might see them at the top eventually.
You know, we'll have to, whether we see him at the top or in the middle, or, you know, honestly, even at the bottom, I'll always be a Windber fan. You know, the real victories, I feel like, Joker, I learned this from coaching in scrims, playing on teams. You know, the real victories are always the opportunities that we get, you know, to play with each other and as well to learn a little bit more about the game. But that's going to be it for this first series, Joker. It's going to be a 2-0, a little bit decisive victory here for Bishop Carroll. And they pick up their first win of this season as well.
Yeah, and we're going to head to a short little break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have Forest Hills versus Johnstown right after this little break. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you didn't miss us too much as we're about to head into the second game of the season, or sorry, of the night, as it's going to be Forest Hills versus Johnstown. But before we go into that, let's talk about the rosters first.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Forest Hills again. This is actually a rematch of the champions from last season. Here for starting for Forest Hills is going to be Vaco and Deco on the tank lineup. All of your damage is going to be dished out by Kaede and Flip Stingray. And Jegrold and Napoleon are the ever steady rocks of Forest Hills, hiding between the trees but keeping them upright here as these fights break out on the support lineup. Going up against Johnstown Trojans, who we got to see last week in a real war of attrition, hoping they can bring themselves back from that 0-1. Who we've got playing for them?
Oh, we've got River Galaxy and Just My Tick, I'll say, on the Thick. Okay, it's Just My Thick on the tank line. Then we've got Junie, and Trojan 1, who is Sarid on the DPS. And then we've got Trojan 4, which is Zeke, and Game Genix on the support line.
I'm excited to see Johnstown back in action, but you know, they played a pretty not a pretty, but a tough series last week. Again, they're down 0-1 right now in the season so far. Going against Forest Hills, you're not looking at any less adversity than they found in Somerset last week. But Greater Johnstown, you know, looking at some of these stats, it's kind of insane to look at the damage numbers that they're able to put out. Forest Hills hasn't really met such adversity yet, so they might be coming into this with, you know, maybe a little overconfidence. We'll have to see how it plays out here. Starting on Oasis, we're going to Oasis Gardens. Good to see a map that we haven't seen yet today.
Yeah, definitely.
Map, rather.
Yeah, and right now we're seeing Forest Hills opting for a Wrecking Ball Diva composition coming out from them. A lot more diversity where we're probably going to expect from a top team in Forest Hills. And then Greater Johnstown opting for a kind of another kind of brawl, but there comes the Pharah out instead of the Junkrat.
So, you know, earlier, Joker, when we were like, yeah, if you want to play a hero, you go play him. You don't have to bend to the meta game. You don't have to, you know, play the most broken, powerful heroes. Forest still says, no, we're going to play to the strengths of the map and the heroes. They run out on a very strong composition. Valko's going to drop the Wrecking Ball, play Reinhardt here, strengthening the brawl here for Forest Hills.
Yeah, and it's already starting off for Forest Hills. Kaede on the Tracer, finding two. Devo's gonna go off the side of the map, but it's not gonna matter because Kaede's still alive, finding pick after pick after pick. 4 picks for the Tracer of Forest Hills as Napoleon taking out the Zarya in the end. And Forest Hills just looking amazing.
Ooh, honestly, I'm almost inclined to say that this is Kaede's second pulse bomb that they're already 76% to, but you know, it's definitely their first. Greater Johnstown, they got to find some way to mitigate this damage. Part of the way to do that is their pathing to these fights. They're opting for a close quarters brawl out.
Yeah, and they're already taking a lot of damage in from Flip Stingray on this Echo in the sky. Is Kaede looking for a pick? They find one, taking down both Trojans. Oh my goodness, Kaede is just incredible. Another 3K in this fight, looking for a 4th coming through, and they do get it in the end. Another 4-piece to start things off.
I mean, you saw the pulse bomb deployed that fight, and they're well on their way to another one. You know, at this point, Forest Hills can just, you know, kind of sit back and just give them the 6K. From Greater Johnstown, you'll see Trojan 1, that's Sirid on the Junkrat to lay a trap somewhere and trap Kaede, stop him in the tracks.
Yeah, they definitely need to deal something with Kaede right now, as they've already taken a lot of damage down, and the copied Echo is there. The Shatter coming out as well from River Galaxy, but it's not going to be enough, because, you know, guess who's still alive? Getting pick after pick after pick, yeah, again, Kaede with a 3-piece, as they continue to hold strong.
It seems to me, Joker, that Kaede, you know, part of it is just an insane skill. The other part of it is, you know, they're just kind of exploiting the formation, the openings of, you know, between the members of Greater Johnstown. I want to see this team play a little bit closer together, peel for that support line, and that seems to be what they're doing.
Yeah, they've got Serede on to the Cassidy now, as they do get a stick on to someone, but it's not going to matter, because when Kaede's not getting picked, it's Flip Stingray with a 2-piece to start things off, but, I mean, not to be outdone, there comes yet again looking for some more, as the side of Forest Hills look to clean things up, as that is going to be round 1 of Oasis. Very dominant for the side of Forest Hills.
Yeah, very quick first round there, and you know, fans of Greater Johnstown, myself included, you know, you hate to see it. You saw, I think it was Flip Stingray get a little overzealous there on the Echo, almost had him picked. Sirid was so close to that final blow, and then Jegrold swoops in on the Mercy, and you gotta love that if you're Forest Hills, attentive support players, and that's all anyone could ever ask for in Overwatch.
Yeah, definitely is. Now we're seeing a swaps coming out. A Doomfist coming in from Flip Stingray. What?
You know, it's a rush style comp that Forest Hills is playing, but this is University. You always play rush and brawl on this map, and what better to break up the formation of Greater Johnstown heading into this brawl fight than a Doomfist to just punch, uppercut, and slam his way through the midline.
There's a slam coming through. His flip thing with a perfect engage, taking out Trojan 4. Zeke already down, looking for another one from Stinger. 2, 3. Oh my goodness, the Doomfist finding 3 picks in this fight, opening everything into the favor of Forest Hills as they clean up the rest of them on point.
Definitely River Galaxy feels feels good about the trade though, being able to be the one who says don't get back up instead of Flip Stingray, who, you know, it's their moment to shine here. Kaide just working a poke for that blade. No nano to tether onto it, but it'll still be helpful in picking out Trojan 4 Game Genis.
There's Kaede coming through with a dash, taking out Game Genis, and the res gonna be denied as well. 2 dash kills for the Genji. Oh my goodness!
That's a team kill! That's a team kill!
Team kill coming in from Forest Hills. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness, Ethan.
And now, Joker, this seems... Oh goodness, what's happening here? They're hiding.
Well, let's see here. They don't know that they're there yet.
Oh god. It's not Valor, but you gotta check your corners.
They gotta check their corners. Flip Stinger taking out Trojan 4 as Flip Stingray as well getting in onto the action is finding 2 of their own as another team fight win comes in from Forest Hills.
These fights are beginning and ending so incredibly quickly. You know, I want to see Greater Johnstown stick around in these fights just a little bit more.
Oh.
Is there a change in a comp that they need to make?
I don't, Cassidy, but they already have one, but it's not going to matter because they've already kicked them out as the sound barrier is there as well. This as nothing's found anything as a massive shatter coming in from Vaco, who we have not talked enough about because it's all been the DPS from Forest Hills, but Vaco gets a 3-piece there.
Yeah, and then you have the Devo throw the bomb, ceremoniously says, I won't need this for later, but they just might. Coming up on a couple of tank ultimates, Greater Johnstown has an opportunity to bring this back, but Trojan, oh, the Mercy has to live for Greater Johnstown.
Oh, Game Genix is down though. The Shatter does take down Vaco, but it's already 2 picks coming into the favor of Forest Hills, but a big touch coming in. No one's gonna be able to touch Ethan.
Good stuff from Forest Hills, though. Just a little unlucky for Greater Johnstown. Coming up in that fight, maybe it wasn't entirely won, but it was definitely very winnable. And you know, control point maps, it favors that more deathmatchy style play. Heading into Escort, things might change, but you got to deal with Kaide. Look at this. Look at this kid. Absolute beast.
Absolutely incredible there. After it, oh my goodness, 34 elimination, 65% kill participation. Wow. Just wow.
Just wow. There ain't much else to talk about there, Joker's Ransom. It was, you know, from one round to the next, it was either Kaede or Flip Stingray for Forest Hills, and then as well, you got little moments of the tanks and the supports. It's a hot topic, but unarguably, DPS is really the worst and most difficult role in the game to play. It's nice to see the DPS role getting to spend a little more time in the spotlight here in this series.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, if they continue this, I think it's just going to be a quick game. I hate to say that, but Johnstown didn't really have anything to counter out Coyote and Flip Stingray. If they were focusing one of them down, they had Flips. The other one was doing something, and I mean, unless they're gonna be running like a full denial composition, I don't see how they can stop them.
You know, you have those games though, Joker. I played a game the other day where my team, you know, was up against a Doomfist player, and we were on like 5 or 6 different hard counter heroes to Doomfist. still couldn't do a thing because you deal with one threat and 5 more proc up to take its place off of the aggression of Kaide and Flip Stingray. You know, there's more than enough space for Forest Hills to operate in. That's definitely going to change just a little bit heading to Watchpoint Gibraltar. The escort style game mode benefiting the more team play oriented play style. Just a little bit more. I say Johnstown bring it back. They kind of have to. Joker, we mentioned earlier that these best of 3 series, they're kind of built on momentum a little bit.
Yeah, and right now, Forest Hills has all that momentum going into it, and right now we need to see what they can do. They've made a swap. They've brought in Trojan 1, who is Sarid on to the tank role, swapping with River Galaxy. Maybe that is what they need. As it's got to be something. They need to fix something going forward, and we'll see what they opt to run, as they are going to be starting on their attack.
There's a lot to appreciate about a roster that has depth. For as much as I can already appreciate Greater Johnstown and their desire to push forward into some of these fights, there's definitely plenty to look forward to from River Galaxy, stepping in for the DPS role and playing the J Silly, as we call him, the Junkrat, able to lure enemies into his trap, deal massive amounts of damage with those grenades and concussion mines. That amount of damage might be enough to ward the tanks for Forest Hills off, but is it going to help in the duels against Kaide and Flip Stingray? Already, the DPS for Forest Hills look like bad matchups for Greater Johnstown.
Yeah, as Kaide just tied it, and didn't know you could stay there. Oh, wow. As they're going to look for this headshots onto the supports, but they're going to take out the Cassidy as Junie going down early on, as they don't even realize they're up there. They're just ignoring it. As this is just incredible, as they're going to look for more shots coming through. Nothing's really going on, as Flip Stingray is going to be trying to get as much damage as they possibly can. They take down River Galaxy. They do lose Vaco in the process, and the res is there as well, but it's not going to matter because there goes 2 more picks from the DPS duo of Forest Hills.
This is the trouble that Greater Johnstown is about to incur. It's just the ball diva composition. Oh, look at the blade be drawn!
The blade comes out, fights 2, both the supports go down. Looking for a 4th. No, they're not going to get the 4th in time. But oh my goodness, Forest Hills cannot give Thiethan enough time to talk.
I wasn't even tracking the blade, dude, and I'm a Zenyatta main. I always have to track the. That is absolutely nutty. Forest Hills comp, the Ball Diva, is a great answer to the double barrier composition. I'm glad to see Greater Johnstown opt out of that. Oh, unlucky, Junie.
Yeah, there comes another headshot in from Kaide on the Widowmaker. They've got sights online, but River Galaxy looking to try to flip it out. They've taken out Jegworld. The self-destruct, however,
it's big!
Devo somehow just drops it in the middle of nowhere and finds 3 picks, as they're going to be able to get this cart back into their favor yet again, as I'm just Mythic finds the another pick as goes down, to Flip Stingray. The DMAC is there on the Trojan 1 in the end, as Forest Hills continue to hold it strong.
That was a pretty nutty Diva bomb from Diva. You're gonna see the Minefield committed here in Spawn as well from Vaco. Tanks putting in work here now on Watchpoint Gibraltar, exactly what we want to see. I'll tell you, Joker, I will never understand the science of Diva bombs, but Diva has taught me. Perhaps it is just simple geometry.
Hey, it might be. As they're gonna start things off yet again with a Dragon Blade, and they are going to find Game Genix, but I mean, it's going to be enough to hold on for a while, as the pile driver coming in from Vaco, looking to pop him in as much damage as the Kaede, just going to be uncontested, finding 2 picks yet again, as they can't really do much if they can't deal with this Widowmaker, who finds 3, looking to finally take Kaede out of this fight. They do take down Vaco, but again, it's all blue in the kill feed right now, Thiethan.
Yeah, that was Trojan 4 Zeke on the Mercy, taking matters in their own hands, using the Valk to pressure down Kaede. Kaede still gets to live and picks River Galaxy as well. We're down to a minute. Greater Johnstown, they gotta make something happen. They have the Diva Bomb. Can Trojan 1 understand the science of the Diva Bomb?
Flip Stingray gonna take out Zeke there as another pick comes in from the Genji player for Forest Hills as they're gonna pop the Primal Rage. It is Mythic, but it's a little bit late. They're trying to just make some space. They need to do something, anything to get this car moving. But Trojan 4, Zeke is gone out of this fight. They do trade the Mercies, however, but it's still just so much to deal with, but they might have gotten enough. They're 2 more picks into their favor. They do lose game Genix, however, but it's still looking good for Greater Johnstown now.
Yeah, they've finally gotten some purchase on these angles that Forest Hills are dominating, and they're coming into this fight with ultimates. We might see a kind of similar situation from last series where Windber's able to bring it back. Oh, Greater Johnstown can't anymore!
My goodness, Flip Stingray with a dash through Dragon Blade finds both supports and wins them this fight. It's just a baby diva left. They're not going to be able to touch as Forest Hills have set themselves up for a very easy attacking round.
I mean, man, you know that you're playing the game pretty well and at a pretty fast pace when you're ahead of even the casters in regards to these ultimates. Flip Stingray just bringing out the blade again and again and again. I think we saw it unsheathed 3 times, and every time it did not go unvalued either. You know, Natter Overwatch, a marvelous Overwatch coach, insanely brilliant individual, describes ebb and flow in quite a few of his videos. Here, there is none of that. There's no tide moving back and forth. The team fights aren't indecisive. Things are resolving pretty quickly here for Forest Hills. Greater Johnstown, they're confronted with a difficult task. The first point, full hold on Escort of Watchpoint Gibraltar, of all places.
Yeah, I mean, we could throw it back to when there was 3 points on Escort, but that was during the open beta, I believe, when it was right underneath the bridge there. But we're not in the open beta. This isn't 2016 anymore.
I wish it was.
I mean, hey, me too. We'd still have Harambe around. We'd still have a lot of cool things.
Yeah.
Forest Hills are going to start things off here with a nice pile driver in from Vaco, looking to start things off, disrupt the defense as, oh my goodness, Devo somehow getting up there as well. As this is going to be a very hard offensive push to break through for the defense as Flip Stingray finds 3 picks with the
Holy moly!
As they do find 2, as River Galaxy taking out the Rezzing Mercy is going to be huge nonetheless, as this is going to be able to hold on for the time being for the side of Johnstown.
Gotta watch out about jumping there, River. Raising your center of mass against Kaide on the Widowmaker, who was on the sim, teleported Devo onto that high ground, and Devo definitely did die with like 1,600 points on their barrier, but you love to see Reinhardt's free swinging.
Ooh, but Kaede's swapped back over to the Widowmakers. Found 2 picks already, and this is just the beginning of the end here, Ethan, as there's going to be many people to touch. The Tac Visor does come out from River Galaxy to try to swing things into the favor of Greater Johnstown, but it's not going to be enough. The overwhelming presence is there from Forest Hills. It's just the Sigma left on point as the rest of everyone goes down. The Junk Riptire finds Junie. The Diva is still there. The Minefields clearing them off for the time being, and there it is. Forest Hills take the map in a very, very quick fashion.
Yeah, it's a decisive series here for Forest Hills, and for Greater Johnstown, again, the value to be found in this series is, understanding their opponents better than they did previously. This is the first time this season that we've gotten to see these 2 teams face off once again, a rematch from the finals, and it'll be good to see the rivalry sparked between these 2 teams. I wonder, though, to be honest, if Greater Johnstown, without the adaptations and the practice, the training that they need to commit to, will they stay competitive against Forest Hills, who remains our #1 seeded team in the TEC High School League, picking up a 2-0 victory and bringing them 2-0 in the series? We will just have to see.
Yeah, I really don't know. It's gonna be really interesting to see, especially when we're going forward, looking into the future. I'm really excited to see the Somerset versus Forest Hills matchup.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be an incredible, or Moshannon Valley. Both of them are also 1-0, but like you were saying, I think Somerset was really good from what you were saying. Right, Ethan?
Yeah, they put up quite a fight against Greater Johnstown. The damage numbers from that series were off the walls, insane. So for Division One, the Somerset versus Forest Hills matchup, that one's going to be exciting. But that's Division One. We'll be moving on to Division Two, a series between Forest Hills as well as let me get the name again. It's Hollidaysburg.
Yep, Hollidaysburg.
That is a fun thing to say, Joker.
Yeah. Hey, I'd like to take holidays in Hollidaysburg. Maybe it's a cool place.
Yeah, maybe. We'll have to see how these two teams match up against each other on the other side of a break. Another series coming at you, the last one for the day, when we come back.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Sorry for the delay. We're back now for the third match of the evening. This is going to be Forest Hills versus Hollidaysburg. I'm still here with Lord Thethan. Thethan, how was your break?
It was good. I started falling asleep a little bit. It deprived of as much Overwatch action as I was hoping to get today. Glad to be back from the break and watching these two Division 2 teams play in Week 2 of the TEC High School League. Like you mentioned, it's Forest Hills Division 2 team versus Hollidaysburg, and this is actually going to be a debut for me from all these players. Let's take a look at the roster real quick for Forest Hills. You're gonna be seeing JB Baumall. That's okay. That's a mouthful. JB on the tank lineup with Stained Llama, as well as CBG Hotshot and Bloodhound are going to be your damage dealers. Coda and Gostoni are going to be playing support for the team today.
Yeah, and then on the side of Hollidaysburg, we've got two of them on their school accounts. So HASD Esports 1 is going to be Jack, V Snipes on the tank as well. Then we have Cornrow and Allah on the DPS, and then the other HSD Esports number 6 is going to be Liam, and then M Juice Man on the support line.
I like that name. You and I both mentioned Joker during the break. We're like, yeah, we like the name M Juice Man. That's a pretty fun one to say. We'll see if the gameplay is fun to watch here. Heading into first map, the map pool has not changed even between the divisions. We go into control point on Oasis. Starting here once again in University as well. That's that brawl style map that we got to see in the first series of the afternoon. It's bringing it full circle here for this one.
Yeah, this is gonna be very fun to see. We'll see. Because I believe two of the players from our previous match of Forest Hills are so Coyote and Flip Stingray, I believe might be their coaches. Because I did see them in their lobby. So yeah, they seem to be playing more of a traditional style, maybe less of brawl because of those two being their coaches.
Yeah, it's the classic Orisa Diva defense style composition. I'll never complain about seeing the horse. We got to see a little bit of her earlier. So seeing JB on the Orisa here for this series, or at least maybe for just this one map, is pretty exciting to me. Lots of damage behind the tanks for Forest Hills as well. But you got to watch out. Allah for Hollidaysburg might be able to shred through the midline if the engagement is right.
Well, Hollidaysburg's already taken this point control, but that's what they're going to want to do, especially with this brawl composition, as, Stained Llama is going to get caught out immediately, going down to Jack on that Reinhardt after getting DMAxed by Cornrow. As the side of Hollidaysburg, they're going to start things off, get the capture percentage into their favor, and I mean, it wasn't going to really happen any other way unless the side of Forest Hill decided to drop down.
Yeah, they're going to have to yield the objective for now and just play it slow, play it safe, wait for Stain to get back into the fray. It's pretty unlucky to lose the Diva there as early as they did. That's infinite damage mitigation potential with that defense matrix. That's the one hero you don't want to lose. Oh, nice pull from JB.
Yeah, JB taking down Ala off the side is going to be huge. That should be the go sign for Forest Hill to drop down and engage. But they're still taking their time. They're not investing anything. They're still waiting out here, Ethan.
Yeah, and I mean, it's given V-Snipes the opportunity to build up that Graviton Surge, that ultimate. You know, if you see Forest Hills try and touch, they might get stopped in their tracks by that ult, but it doesn't look like they're going to want to here.
Yeah, they definitely can now after everyone's died. V-Snipes just getting some snipes with the Zarya. Right click there is this just Stain Llama now gonna be demeched and to be staggered out for a little bit as Forest Hill's not looking that comfortable right now.
No, slow and steady in this case is not winning the race. We definitely want to see a little more aggression from the Forest Hills squad here for Division 2. Maybe not too quick though. CBG taking a little bit of damage before the fight breaks out.
Yeah, they're gonna start things off. The grab does come out from V-Snipes as well as the tack visor from Cornrow. They do take down Bloodhound, another one coming through from the tack visor. And that's just gonna be Hollidaysburg taking this fight win very, very quickly and very easily.
Nice tracking. That was beautiful tracking there on Cornrow, and you're right, very easy to hold that objective with the use of 3 ultimates. That's not a bad ult cycle either. You'll have Liam coming up on the sound barrier on Lucio for Hollidaysburg. Keep them in this fight amidst the tactical visor.
Attack visor coming now online, but it's gonna be countered out immediately, like you said, by that sound barrier from Liam. As this is gonna be looking very good. The return! Oh my goodness, what a play coming in from the Junkrat of Forest Hills.
Sneaking under the radar, little rat that Bloodhound is, and definitely shedding some blood there with a 5k tire. That was an absolutely nutty position to get that off from. The response from Hollidaysburg was not what it should have been, but they can retake this point.
Yeah, and they're going to start things off. The Amp Matrix is now out and about for the side of Forest Hills to try to keep this point into the favor. But it's because of last fight territory. But there goes Ala with a 3k Death Blossom there to start things off. V-Snipes as well with 3 of their own as the team kill gong sounds. And no one should be able to touch unless they hit the nice rollout. But no, Forest Hills are going to go down as Hollidaysburg come back strong.
That was a nice retake. A huge particle barrier that had been applied from I think it was, oh no, I'm losing my names, V-Snipes onto Ala to enable the completion of that Death Blossom. Forest Hills, though, you know, maybe opting into a strategy, or like you and I have discussed several times, those comfort-style picks. University, it doesn't foster the strengths of the Diva Orisa comp as much as maybe some of these other maps. I'm totally fine with that. It means that you can run the dive here from Forest Hills on Oasis City Center. This is a strong comp to start out the gate with.
Yeah, and it's going to be very interesting to see how if it works better into their favor. They didn't look too comfortable on that Orisa composition that they were running, and we'll see how this starts off. But they're not going to take the high ground already, as now there it goes. The dive coming in from JB is going to be there, not going to find much disruption, however.
No, it's and this is a powerful position for Hollidaysburg to maintain. It's gonna be difficult for Forest Hills to really take it.
When Juiceman taking down JB is gonna be huge. The res is there from Coda, but Juiceman still unleashing this damage from on high, taking down Gastoni as well as the rest of Hollidaysburg gonna be able to push in, take the rest of Forest Hills down.
That's another quick fight in the books here for Hollidaysburg. I think that I would have wanted to see Forest Hills play out of line of sight of that high ground. If you're not going to go for it first, then you might as well wait for the point to unlock, because that's when Hollidaysburg has to drop and contest the objective. You don't want to start out a fight with the dive comp at a man disadvantage.
Yeah, definitely not, as they're going to start looking for this next engagement soon. but nothing's really doing it. They're still waiting. The dive now coming in from JB, looking to get some pick here, but they're just gonna drop down, get regrouped with the rest of their squad. And Bloodhound's taking a lot of damage. It's gonna go down as Juiceman taking that 1v1 as the side of Hollidaysburg continue to win fight after fight as they do get the res onto Bloodhound, but it's gonna be a little bit too late for really anything to change.
Yeah, at that point, you just want a concussion, you mine yourself out of there. JB still committed the Primal Rage. It's, you know, not bad to get the ultimate out, especially considering that, you know, with all that health there on in the Primal Rage form, you're not really yielding too much ultimate to Hollidaysburg. They're already sitting on 5. Ala a little bit slower on the uptake with this Death Blossom, but we know that, you know, when they have it, they use it when it really counts.
Yeah, as they're gonna be looking through here, they've got a lot. CBG Hotshot swapped over to the Bastion here, Ethan.
Bastion?
A very interesting swap indeed. As it's not really. They're gonna try to set things up on the high ground, try to get as much damage as they can. Oh my goodness, Juiceman! He took the 2v1 actually, and then won that fight. They got the positioning away. As this is gonna look good. They did get 2 of their own as the self-destruct coming out as well. It is even all around at the moment, but it's still looking good for the side of Hollidaysburg. They've got everything they need. They've taken out Gastoni. The trap is there onto the Zarya, but it's gonna be a little too late. It's just the Baby Diva left as the overtime bar ticks down as the side of Hollidaysburg are starting out strong with a nice 2-0 on Oasis.
Joker, just as someone who coaches Overwatch and who just gets to play and watch so much of it, man, it kills me to see 6 little check marks light up at the top of my screen, and that's what that was a nutty tire, by the way. That's what Hollidaysburg was working with there. They really never had a reason to use any of their ultimates. They're sitting on 6 of them at the end of the round. You finally see V-Snipes, you know, throw the grav out. And it's definitely not because Hollidaysburg is, you know, kind of waiting for a rainy day to use these umbrellas to survive the torrent of an onslaught from their opponents, but rather, you know, if for some players it's if you have it, you might as well use it, and for others it's if we need it, we'll use it. In this case, on Oasis, it seems Hollidaysburg didn't need their most powerful utilities. But again, that's the deathmatchy style of Control Point. Heading into Watchpoint Gibraltar, Joker, do you anticipate anything changing here?
I don't know. It's not looking good for Forest Hills. I don't really. They need to do something about it. I just feel like they were playing a bit too slow. Maybe is the biggest thing. I mean. Everyone from the side of Hollidaysburg was playing very well, and they were playing together. And I think that's the biggest thing that they have to work on going into this map: playing together and being able to catch out the people on Hollidaysburg when they do make a mistake.
I mean, we saw where playing together really, kind of hit Hollidaysburg pretty hard with that 5K rip tire from Bloodhound. But you're right. That's kind of a prevailing theme that we've gotten to see today. Joker is, teams just maybe spreading out a little bit too much, not coalescing together during the mid fight, defaulting into the formation, and really for Forest Hills of the 2nd Division, it's just getting the formation might be the start of all of this, or at least if you're not going to play in a specific formation, to play those heroes who can dance between their teammates. You think about the Mercy with Guardian Angel, the Diva with boosters, Wrecking Ball as well, who's pretty counterable but still exceedingly powerful. We'll have to see. For Forest Hills, staying together, staying defaulted means running the double barrier. Easy to play behind 2 shields, gives CBG and Bloodhound plenty of space to work with, especially down these long sidelines of Watchpoint Gibby.
Yeah, hopefully this is what they need. They did swap JB and Stained Llama around, as JB's now going to be opting for the Sigma. But, I mean, it'll be really interesting to see, Hollidaysburg, I don't know, they might be playing it here, Ethan.
No. Oh, yeah, they're baiting us, Joker. They're baiting us. We wanted to see the Bastion, but I guess what little we got from CBG there is what we get.
No 2018 pirate ship compositions coming out from Hollidaysburg. I mean, you can't do the 2018 one, but still, it would have been a nice 2018. It would have been a nice throwback nonetheless. As well, they're gonna start things off. Look for a pick. As no, they're just gonna keep walking this underneath the areas. This should be where Forest Hills have the best opportunity to hold on to the point. But now here comes V-Snipes pumping in so much damage, and they take down Bloodhound early on. And now here comes the Monkey without really anything to counter it out. Besides this Cassidy flashbang, but that's not going to even matter at the end as Hollidaysburg continue to push forward and get every pick they want.
Well, and that is, Joker, that is why we call this formation that Hollidaysburg is running the bulldozer composition. Able to just run through. You've got two barriers on the side of Forest Hills, but V-Snipes with the monkey bubble, as we call it, that's a lot of damage that you have to use to actually break through it. So there's a lot of space, a lot of damage from the cleave from V-Snipes on the Winston, and CBG is, they're having to play someone like Bastion in order to just thread through that push there. Hollidaysburg coming into this next fight with a shatter. They got to get on high ground to use it first.
Now we've seen two swaps here, Thief, and V-Snipes and JV are on to the Roadhog here. We're seeing some of that pulled pork coming out from Forest Hills. Let's see if they can get these combos underway, but nothing really doing at the moment. This Bastion is just pushing so much damage, but what the heck? The Lucio goes up, takes down Hotshot, and they're going to continue to push forward. Bloodhound does take down Juice Man, but it's still looking good for Hollidaysburg as they're going to be able to capture with 6 minutes on the board.
That is a time bank that you are really comfortable with. If you're Hollidaysburg or a Hollidaysburg fan, you've got so much time to just push all the way to the end. And really, for this composition, again, kind of going back to the meta game, to the what high-level players would expect or run here. You see Reinhardt on first point attack watch point Gibraltar, and you're like, okay, this isn't gonna work. But this objective, this last stretch, this is where Hollidaysburg's comp really begins to work as well as it will.
Yeah, and so there comes the hook in, but nothing really doing. They're gonna use the bongos here from Stain Llama, but they're not gonna find much damage. They've already lost him, and a pin from Narnia from Jack is gonna take out Hotshot as the Death Blossom is there as well. This is just gonna be an overwhelming from Hollidaysburg as a 2K whole hog there. Oh my goodness!
That was naughty. You get the environmental with JB, you trap Coda in a corner. I mentioned earlier, play heroes that you can run all over the map with, like Mercy with Guardian Angel, whole hogged into a corner. That's not an option for you. You alluded to this, Joker. You were kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if things will really change for Forest Hills heading here into map 2. The winds of change, they seem pretty stagnant here on Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Yeah, and I don't see it changing anytime soon. It's not that I'm trying to be disrespectful or anything to Forest Hills. It's just Hollidaysburg just looks incredible.
Oh yeah, it's not as if Forest Hills isn't putting up resistance, right? We think about Bloodhound's 5K tire. We think about the swaps as well, right? You would, honestly, even players as high as GM will lock a hero and not make a swap, even if they're playing into adversity. That's not what we're seeing from Forest Hills. Forest Hills is making swaps. You can see them trying to evaluate what plan they want to run to make something work here. It's a composition. It's a structure of heroes of characters that you would look at on paper. It doesn't make much sense, but each of these are an answer to a problem that Hollidaysburg represents. We'll have to see. Diva Zarya, it's unconventional, but this is Forest Hills' shot. They've got to take it.
Yeah, I'm just so confused by the Diva Zarya.
Yeah, I've never seen it before. Yeah, I don't see it in my ranked games.
I mean, hey, if it works, it works. They need it. They need something to come out from this. As this is a very difficult place to come back from, as they're going to just dive right onto them. The Bulldozer coming out after the side of Forest Hills here, as there goes CBG hot shot, and that's going to be the DMAC as well, as that's just going to win them that fight.
We see a lot of these engagements being taken on Hollidaysburg's terms. They're the first ones to rush in, the first ones to use the abilities to deal the damage. And as well, in most of these fights, the first ones to use their ultimates as well. It's not always about ulting or engaging first, it's about ulting or engaging better. But sometimes ulting better means ulting first here. That's what Hollidaysburg represents to Forest Hills.
Yeah, and now they're trying to this double flyer composition, but there goes both of them. It's not, and they really don't have much to deal with. They have the Soldier 76 on the board for Hollidaysburg, but that can only do so much. But it's Hotshot swapping yet again over to the Hanzo.
Again, you know, just trying to find solutions to potential issues. You know, it's all the players for Forest Hills tapping into every little bit of Overwatch knowledge that they can utilize. It's CBG understanding that, you know, you can shred through barriers with Hanzo's Storm Arrow, but you've got to find the space to do so first. Might be difficult with that D.Va Zarya. Now we're on D.Va Ball, and things might begin to change.
No, they need to definitely hold on, because has not moved many meters on the board yet. Has this cart. The Valkyrie on board from Coda now, trying to get them out of spawn, as Cornrow now popping the tack visor. They're going to take out Stain Llama, and Cornrow is going to get 2 with this tack visor, taking out Coda and JB, as this is just going to be another team fight win. Cornrow getting 3 in that fight.
Yeah, Cornrow's tracking is really good, and the tactical visor, you know, it aims automatically for you, but the deployment was really well timed. It was after an ambitious amp matrix from Juiceman, so there's no damage from that soldier ult that's doubled, but, you know, you hit it at the very end of Coda's Valkyrie, get them out of the fight, force them back into spawn, and now you've gotten a DMAC of a Stained Llama.
Yeah, and Ala taking out Coda as well. It's down to 1:19 here, and they're just keeping the spawn cam going, as Gastoni going down to Cornrow and a headshot yet again from the Soldier 76.
Got Bloodhound here with the duplicate, though. I think that I'd love to see a duplicate on the, you know, maybe on the Winston or the Reinhardt. Tanks are good dupe targets, but you have to wait until you come back from spawn to do so.
And good. They're now under a minute here, Ethan. They're gonna try something. The self-destruct is gonna come out, not find any picks. However, the Death Blossom there as well, finding 2. Aloe with a pick, 2K, and the D-Mech as well. There is the minefield on point, trying to get something. They finally get someone out of this fight, but they keep getting picked as Hollidaysburg, as it's not gonna matter in the end.
We got to see a little bit of a close hold in the previous series, but this is a close hold here. Hollidaysburg just dominating the space, fought back by the Blizzard, but that's a nice immortality field, keeping Juiceman in this fight. They've procced the, or they have now the Matrix too.
Yeah, as that, I mean, it should have worked out, but that immortality field, like you said, was just perfect. As they've swapped over to the Bastion, yet again, they've taken out Juiceman. This, that could be the opening that they need, but they definitely need to touch here. The Shatter coming out right in spawn from Jack, as this is going to be the last fight, it seems, as there goes Bloodhound and JB. All of the picks coming now for the side of Hollidaysburg, as Cornwall with the 2K tack visor, as Hollidaysburg take the series 2-0.
And that's the third and final 2-0 of the day as well, Joker. A little unfortunate we didn't get our 3-game series like we would have wanted, but, you know, honestly, I can't complain too much. These are, don't get me wrong, I love all the maps of Overwatch, 2CP included. But these 3 maps aren't necessarily my favorite to watch and cast. So I'll settle for 2-0s this week, but heading into next week, week 3, I'm very excited to see the versatility that the maps of that week really provide. At least for now, it's a pretty decisive and yet unceremonious win here for Hollidaysburg for the 2nd division of week 2.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for next week. Hopefully we get to see that matchup between Forest Hills and Somerset. But
Yeah.
because my goodness, if it's anything to say that these previous 2 weeks, it's going to be one heck of a series indeed.
Yeah, I am really excited. You know, it's unfortunate. I wanted to continue talking about Overwatch, Joker, but
Yeah.
you know, this is where the road ends. But you know, not only for the evening, not for the months ahead, the weeks ahead. That TC High School League will continue. Make sure that you've dropped a follow on the Twitch so you guys can be notified of when we go live, just in case you don't or you forget, or you know, you're like, you know, my dad don't tell me what to do. It's same week next time, Wednesday, 3:30 p.m. EST. It's going to be the same place, twitch.tv/the esport company, for more Overwatch action taking place.
Yeah, and Monday starting at 3:30, they've got Valorant Week 3 continuing on the same channel here. Exclamation point socials to follow the esports company High School League socials, and then exclamation point casters, because I mean we're here. And I think we deserve your follows. I think we put a pretty good show on for you tonight. I'm at the Joker at Joker's Ransom, and Thethan, what are you at?
I'm at Lord Thethan, just like my little handle down there. Definitely hit us up with a follow. You guys can stay notified of you know, when we go live with any of our casting gigs. But definitely expect to see us back here in the booth for the esports company. I'm really enjoying my tenure here, watching these players. You know, big shout outs, of course, to you know, to you and me, Joker, as well as our producer for helping us make the show happen. But a big shout out for all of our contenders and all those who are supporting them. Great games today, all of you. I look forward to seeing the season continue. For us in the booth, that's going to be it for us. You guys have a wonderful rest of the evening. Thanks for watching.